Let's go next to our caller from the 281 area code. Who's calling today from 281?
Hello?
Yes, that's you. Who's this?
Oh, hi. This is Raj. I'm from Texas,
Hey, Raja.
Houston, to be specific. Yeah, I've got two questions. I've been a member for 2 years now, so
Thank you.
keep fighting good. Um, the first question is it worth bringing up the Democratic primary during our Thanksgiving holidays with our relatives and stuff? Because I mean, like, and the thing is, I really want to because I really only had a chance to look at the most recent climate report from I think the ICC that they released last year, and it's just so alarming what's going to happen. Even with the warming that we're already projected to have. That for me, it seems like any time, like there's only two candidates in my mind that are even legitimately addressing climate change with the urgency, and maybe only one, arguably only one, if you think about Bernie's plan. And so I don't know, like most of my family are well off suburban, I guess, elite liberals or whatever, not really just upper middle income, but I don't think they don't have the same urgency that I do when it comes to this election.
So that was going to be my question. My first question was going to be, are you thinking about bringing up the Democratic primary to Republicans or to people on the left who simply may not have decided or maybe going the wrong way in the primary? If you're talking here
They're
about,
liberal leaning.
yeah. If you're talking about a liberal leaning family, I probably would bring up that. Well, what state is this in, by the way?
Texas, but suburbs of Austin, actually.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't know if you were traveling for Thanksgiving or if it's happening there. Here, I would bring it up. I mean, you want to bring it up in a way that reflects the degree to which you're willing to make people uncomfortable or to start arguments, and it's totally reasonable not to want to do that at Thanksgiving. But I would bring it up, and I would gauge who are people voting for. And Texas is an important state in terms of delegates in the Democratic
Mm,
primary. So yes, I would bring it up, but you don't necessarily need to be accusatory or attacking people, but you can simply ask questions like if do you care? They say I'm voting for Biden or whatever. Okay, well, are you concerned about the
right.
situation with the climate? If they say yes, then you say, oh, what is it that Biden plans to do? And then hopefully they will then realize, oh, actually, I don't know if Biden's planning to
Mm,
do anything. Did you see what Bernie's plan is on this? And maybe you can stimulate some
right.
thought in that way.
Well, that's the problem. I think for people that are generally doing okay in life, the moment that you say I'm with Bernie, because I'm younger than all of them, right? They're all
Yep.
older, educated professionals, have jobs, all that stuff. I'm still in college, so the problem ends up becoming that, oh, I'm with Bernie. Well, you're an extremist. Like you automatically get put into, like, you get boxed in,
Right.
and your arguments are sort of brushed off just because you're labeled, right? Rather than taking a objective look at the issues and trying to understand what is the most actual path that we need to take.
Well, listen, if you're called you can't go counterpoint on everything, but if you're called an extremist for supporting Bernie, I would encourage you to say, are Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland, Norway, what I give the full list. Are those countries
Mm,
extreme because Bernie's not advocating for
exactly.
anything more extreme than that? Listen, I wish you good luck and hope you don't make any enemies at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you so much. I do have a second question though. Part of the problem I think with arguing for Bernie is people don't perceive him to be as electable, quote unquote, which is honestly to me is a just a completely speculative concept, electability. Um, but I do have a doubt in my mind about, let's say, if Bernie were to win the nomination. The only thing that I think I see stopping him is all the special interests will line up and just pour mountains of money into the election, because he's such a fundamental threat to the way things are. Do you see that as a possibility that he may lose the election just due to special interest, pouring all their money into the election cycle?
It's certainly possible, but I think it's just as likely or almost just as likely to happen with Elizabeth Warren. And I see them as really the front runner progressive contender. So unless you're saying let's just go with Biden because the special interests will be less against him. If we want a progressive,
Mm-hmm.
that money will come out against Bernie. That money will also come out against Elizabeth Warren. So I think we're just going to have to fight that and beat it is the only way around it. Listen, I appreciate the call. I've got to run because I've got a bunch of people that want to get in here before we go on Thanksgiving break.